Well, this defense for the Chargers, they were fantastic a week ago in that win over Houston.
And the way they did it was by getting after the quarterback. Sacked him 7 times in that game. Came from all angles, created a lot of illusions, and especially just beat them man for man. That's the kind of defense that really frustrates an opponent.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. They run it again with Chubb. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
And just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. They'll try to run for the first down with Hunt. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
The Browns are the perfect 4-0 to start the campaign.
And they've been playing their best football of the year, winners of 4 in a row.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They'll try the air now with Watson. He finds the speedster Ross. That's complete. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. John Ross, his first touchdown on the year.
And the Browns are on the board first here this afternoon. Extra point by York is up and good.
And it's now a 7-0 game. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away.
Johnson won't return this, and the football will come out to the 25. Herbert going to lead up the Chargers here, 1st and 10.
At their 25-yard line.
Now here's a 6-year man, Austin Eckler.
And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Now, they may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down. Good push up front and that run in between the tackles.
Let's play the leverage game here. Offensive line just got lower than the defensive front, and they were able to get their pads on them and move them backwards and create space for their running back to roam.
First down, and they stick with Eckler. And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46.
And the linebacker, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, on the tackle.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Herbert off of play action.
Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked off by Grant Delpit. And the Browns are going to take possession of the football.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
After the interception, here's Watson. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone.
And it'll be incomplete. Good job staying with him defensively. And it'll bring up 2nd down.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Throwing again is Watson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Fuller.
And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. Running with Hunt here out of the shotgun. And Hunt is not going to get there. He needed 2. He got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down and a yard.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
They run for it with Hunt. And he'll follow his blockers there all the way down to the 23-yard line. That one good for 17 yards on 4th. Couldn't ask for much more from your offense there. 1st down.
Okay, you and I are sitting up here getting ready to analyze whether they should go for it or not. Did you see the quarterback just point to the sideline and say, everybody back, I've got this call?
Well, you knew this side of the field, they're in plus territory, 4th and 1. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Now Watson out to his left. And his throw is incomplete.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them. And I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Flushed out right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Khalil Mack in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the scrambler or the dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. On 4th down, on is Corey Bojorquez to punt. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Pretty woeful there, just 23 yards on the punt. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. The Charger drive about to get going.
And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive. In particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, some guys, they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to look to hit a couple shorter passes and get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
Now the 4th-round pick from A&M. This is Isaiah Spiller.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Found a little room there as he's out to about the 37.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
They'll try to pick up the first with Eckler. And he's going to be taken down right at the line. On fourth down, Herbert. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Browns are going to get this thing back. Excellent field position. Faking the give. Now Watson on the move to his left. Throw left side, caught by the tight end Njoku. Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Up the middle, it's Chubb. And he'll take this one inside the 10, down to the 8. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Now a play fake, and it's Watson. Steps away. And he's able to get this down to the 5-yard line before he's out of bounds. They'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. The offense on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Watson now to throw. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sack back around the 8.
A loss of 3 on the sack made by multiple defenders.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again.
Now Watson will step away, and out comes Cade York to handle this 4th down field goal try for the Browns.
This from 25 yards out.
York able to send this one through.
And that will extend their lead even further.
So that one on target, and it adds to this first-half lead.
And maybe we're too early to worry too much about 1-score lead, 2-score lead, etc. But this is where you kind of start banking those points that come in helpful later on.
Johnson won't return this, and the football will come out to the 25.
The Charger drive about to get going.
They're coming off a 4th down gamble that last drive that backfired CD, but really not as badly as it could. Their defense held up and only gave up 3 points.
And what they want to do is play off the momentum the defense gave them. Only giving up the 3 points in that situation after they failed on 4th down. Now they want to make it pay off. They want to pay homage to the defense and have their own drive pay off in points for themselves.
Throwing on 2nd down. Herbert. That's caught by his tight end, Gerald Everett. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. Trying to force it to Allen, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by Grant Delpit.
And the Browns are going to take possession of the football.
And that's now the 2nd time he's picked off a pass here in the first half alone. Again, another great read defensively, and you just see him get in the right position to make the play and get his guys the football back.
Off of play action, it's Watson. They'll roll it, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Linval Joseph gets him for a loss of 8. What great push up front.
So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And, partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's the game plan that they've had so far, because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Watson escaping, and the pressure gets to him again.
Following that sack, Watson and the Browns backed up for a 3rd and long.
They're going to look to throw. He's got a man, complete. Touchdown. Deshaun Jackson, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Browns
Browns will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
They have really had their way so far in the first half, but they wanted to continue to build on their lead. They know that no lead is safe in this league, so they decided to try their best to get one more as they headed into the half, and they got it done.
Looking to maybe throw for it here, Watson. And he's got it. So the try for two successful, and that bumps their lead up even further. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away.
This fielded right at the goal line. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going.
I don't think they need to be reminded of the situation here. I mean, the clock is dwindling. 3-score deficit waiting for them at halftime unless they can get something on the board here before intermission.
The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. That's complete to the tight end, Everett. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to one remaining here as we head toward halftime. Running on first down, Eckler. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down.
Eckler going to get it again on second down.
And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. So we have reached halftime here in Cleveland with the Browns on top as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. The Chargers going to get the football first here in this second half, and they trail as we get back underway.
Johnson won't return this, and the football will come out to the 25.
The Charger drive about to get going.
We'll see, Charles, if they had a chance to hit the reset button at halftime. They have not scored. They're facing this big deficit. And if they're going to come back, it's going to have to start right now.
Yeah, and for them, it's not dwelling in the negative because, yes, they were totally ineffective in the first half. But we've seen many games that have flipped around in the second half. It all starts with this drive right here. They get something good going, put some points on the board, they begin to have hope.
So the big play gets them across midfield now for 1st and 10.
Herbert will give this one to Eckler. On a nice burst there as he'll take this inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. 68 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at him and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense, and on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. It's Eckler again.
And a good-looking run there as he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18-yard line.
They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to that end zone real fast.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Herbert operating from the red zone. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he's in for a Charger touchdown.
Jalen Guyton.
An 18-yard touchdown grab.
And the Chargers are able to cut into this lead as they score on the opening drive of the second half.
Hopkins with the extra point. And that'll make this now an 11-point deficit. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. And he is out of bounds here on the return. The Cleveland offense ready to go.
And they were terrific in the first half, built up a sizable lead, and it's just been cut into a bit following the opening drive score on the other side. But this is a unit that has to be itching to get the football again.
You can say that again. They've got to be pretty eager because, let's face it, they've had to sit through halftime, then sit on the sidelines and watch that drive. So you can bet that they're saying, let's get on with this. We got to go out there and get some more points.
Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. Now Chubb running right. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down. Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. He's letting this one go for Fuller. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Oh, I thought he had that one, and that was nearly a big 3rd down conversion to give this drive some life. Instead, they're on the spot and help separate the receiver from the ball.
And Bojorquez on to punt as he gets it away. On the return, Johnson.
And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds.
A nice punt, but a good run back as well of 13 yards. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
The Charger drive about to get going.
Right now, Charles, it just feels like they're trying to keep pace. They did score the touchdown last time out, but they still trail by double digits here. We'll see if this offense is once again up to the task.
Yeah, and I think that after the last drive, they've got them pretty revved up, don't you think? Everything they were doing was working pretty well. They go back out there with the same mindset, play at the same tempo and the same pace. Still a lot of time left to make something happen in this one.
And they'll be stopped right at the 30. On a play that started back at the 15, they pick up 15.
Man, these guys may not win this ball game, but you certainly can't fault the effort of this man here today. He's been a real thorn in their sides all afternoon. And that last carry puts him over the 100-yard mark.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down.
On 1st and 10 is Spiller.
And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5.
They've created a nice sustained drive off of plays like that. A nice strong run there that keeps them advancing the ball.
They'll try the air now with Herbert. And complete. Spiller out of the backfield. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here. 3rd and 5.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
Play action. It's Herbert. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. They snap it to Herbert. Williams brings it in. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. Wow, 1st and goal, and defensively all they can do is shake their heads. Not only did they allow the conversion, but a big play as well. So a moment to catch our collective breath after the 4th down conversion. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game.
Eckler will get down close to the goal line, but not in, as he'll be marked down at the 1.
He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal.
All of a sudden, those lanes that were there earlier in the drive dry up near the goal line. That's a good job defensively to diagnose the run and stop it for a very short pickup.
They'll look to run with Spiller.
And I think they stopped him again. They did at the 1-yard line. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Sometimes I get caught in hyperbole, but I think they desperately need to punch this one in. They're running out of time.
Yeah, 2-score game, second half. You're down here. This is the time to put it in the end zone.
And not going to get much better than this for an opportunity.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Los Angeles.
Austin Eckler, his 8th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Chargers have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. And they would not be denied on the ground, powering it in just one play after they got stopped short.
And how about how many tight ends are on the field? Because in today's NFL, we think of the tight end more as a pass catcher. For this group, they tell them you've got to be able to run block to stay on this team. And they committed to it and got it done right there.
Extra point good by Hopkins.
And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away.
On the return from his end zone is Grant.
And he's going to be out of bounds on the return. Not a great return. They'll start back around the 17. The Browns drive about to get started. They've been asleep for a little while on this side of the football, Charles, and the score is just a 1-score game now. Haven't had any points this half. What gives?
Let's go old school here. All right, let's get back to the basics. Get back to running the football, high percentage throws. Find the guys that eat pressure and make plays for you and make sure they touch it.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. And again, it's Chubb. And some room to work. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Just what the Browns needed there. Good for a gain of 17. They had 3 tight ends in on that set, and they were really good at blocking for their running back.
And give them a lot of credit because in football nowadays, tight ends coming out of college often don't block very often. These guys have really developed into superior blockers, and that's why they use them in this formation so often.
2nd and 10.
They'll try and wind down some clock with Chubb. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. And Chubb will try the middle here. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
They had 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
They will indeed snap it to Watson. He's got Fuller.
And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
So not only do they convert on 4th, but they pick up 22 yards in the process.
I can hear it right now that most people in our business are saying, why aren't they running the football? But I happen to agree with this strategy. They've had success all game long. I don't think they should go away from it. Too often, teams go into that protect mode and end up giving away the football. This team has stayed aggressive, and it's working out for them.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
This drive's taken more than 3 minutes off the clock already as they come up on 2nd down.
They go up the middle with Chubb. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or two short here with third down coming up. They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. Running for it. Here's Chubb. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. It's a gain of 4, and that should just about seal the deal.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach? He's in big trouble.
And Watson's going to throw it here. Looking for the end zone. And, oh, it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Michael Davis. And the Chargers come up with a late turnover, but it will probably only matter to the statisticians as this ball game is now officially over. Well, like all great games, it came down to the final snap, Charles. They had to heave it and hope, but the Hail Mary ultimately intercepted, and that's your ball game.
Yeah, and you never want to be in a situation where your entire game comes down to throwing a jump ball as far as you can. But in that situation, you want to loft it up and hope one of your guys can win in the air. This time, though, it was a defender who got up there, and that was the end of the ball game. Close one throughout. One team just had a little bit more at the end than the other.
So for Cleveland, they improved to 5-0 now on the young season. And they'll get another home date next week as the Patriots will come to town. Meanwhile, for the Chargers, it was a good first month, but they'll fall to 4-1 as they suffer their first loss. And they'll look to get back on track next week as they travel to Denver to take on the Broncos. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Yeah.